These are halal dating. Habibi, what's wrong with you? No such thing as halal dating. Halal dating does not exist, my brothers and my sisters. It's only marriage. Okay, I want to start off with one point over here. Oftentimes a lot of non-Muslims or even modern Muslims will ask me, or ask in general, that we want to date a person because we want to know if we will like them, right? Like, you want to talk to them, you want to see if you guys share similar interests, you want to see if for the rest of your life even have kids with this person. And the modern society has told us that we need to date, right? Like, we need to actually date in order to get to know people. But this is far from the truth. This is what this society wants us to believe. And I mean, just for a second, think about it. All the people, for the most part, that date, how many times do they actually end up getting married? Very few. I've only known like one guy in my high school filled with like 2,000 students that actually married the girl that he dated in high school. So the number of people that actually get married after dating is very little. For the most part, in the time that we live in today, dating is something that people just do to seek pleasure. That's all what it is. It's all just about pure sexual desires. That's all. And that is something that is allowed in Islam from a marriage point of view. Of course, you get married, one of the reasons, so that you can fulfill the sexual desires that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put in a man and a woman. That's totally normal, and it's halal to do when you get married. The reason why we don't date, and that everybody should stay away, of course, from dating, is for the simple fact that, like, when you get married, you create a bond with the person. You create a commitment psychologically and also spiritually. And what ends up happening is that, and I'm not trying to give too much marriage advice, because look, I'm not married right now. I'm just making this video because I know a lot of youth think that they need to secretly, without their parents knowing, date, maybe even date another Muslim or even non-Muslim, so that they can find a person that they would like to get married to. And I'll tell you this right now, as I'm also searching, inshallah, to marry, inshallah, a good person as well, is that what I've learned from my ustads, my teacher, Mulanas, people that I've spoken to, people of knowledge, is that when you get married, that is when the love actually builds, right? You guys start, sharing things all about each other. And before you get married, you could talk about some things too. You could talk about, like, okay, this is how I would like to raise kids. This is what I want to do in my life, whatever the case might be. There's no, like, no one is saying just go see that girl, slap a ring on her, and then just marry her. No, you guys should talk, but from both sides, the parents or the walis should be present, so that everything is, safe. I have found 3 halal ways that you can get to know a person that you're interested in marrying the Islamic way. So right away, I'm just gonna go ahead and share it with you guys. Number 1 is, as soon as you find someone you like, get both parents involved. There is a hadith narrated by Ahmed al-Tirmidhi and al-Hakim. No man is alone with a woman, but the shaitan is the third one present. And this is why it's so important to get the parents involved immediately. Even if you just see a girl, maybe outside a masjid, or maybe she's in your school and she's Muslim and everything, get the parents involved immediately. Go tell your mom, be like, hey, can you go talk to this girl? I'm interested in her. Your mom goes and talks to her. She finds out who her mom is. Then both moms from your side, her side, they talk. They can get the fathers involved. And then akhi, you can go like this. This is halal, it's allowed. And immediately getting the parents involved will eliminate shaitan being the third person in the relationship. Number 2, when you are together with the parents around, right? So you kind of are having a bit of an interview, kind of, right? And by the way, the first time, the parents don't have to be literally like in front of you guys having that conversation. All you have to do is have them like in that area, right? They can be in the corner over there while you guys are having that interaction over there. So they don't have to be like nosy in the conversation itself, but they should be in that area, you guys talk to each other without obviously touching one another. And if everything goes right, you guys do the nikah. And only once the nikah has happened can you touch the person or hug the person or whatever the case might be. And inshallah, you know, you ask the right questions, which I'll make inshallah a separate video about, because I'm still compiling a bunch of information from different scholars and different sheikhs that I know, and doing some of my own research about what are the right Islamic questions. There's actually some great books about this as well. So as I do more research and whatnot, inshallah, I'll make videos about it and share about it as well. And this brings me to my last point, which is what questions should you be asking, right? So some of the questions that I compiled over here is that I would ask, inshallah, when I also find the person that I'm interested in marrying, share your vision as a man. Right, so I have some of these questions. I'll make a separate completely video about it, but some of the questions you would want to ask is that, as a man, share your vision. What do you want to do with your life? Maybe it's business, maybe you want to, you know, go to a different country and study and, you know, do this. Share it with the girl, let her know, so she also knows what marriage she's getting into, right? Because if you plan to travel, if you plan to do this, she also has to become comfortable with that. And if she's not that type of person, you know, it might cause problems. So ask a question like that, especially as a kids. Talk about kids. How do you plan on raising kids? Are you the type of person that wants to send the kids to like madrasa, Islamic school, hifz classes and stuff like that? Or are you more like, you know, I want them to go study at a good school and this and that? Both things are halal as long as they're done, you know, the halal way. Both of them are fine, but it might not work if you're a person that wants the kids to be more like, you know, sheikh oriented and that mindset, versus she's more like, you know, no, they should go become doctors or engineers. And to be honest, we need both. As Muslims, we need both. We can't have just everyone become a sheikh or everyone not become a sheikh and just chase, you know, like doctor, engineer. We need people in all areas of life as Muslims. Maybe, you know, ask questions like, is she going to be the breadwinner of the house? Is she going to be the person who stays at home, cleans the house, cooks the food, and you're going to be the one who is working and making the money and providing for the house? Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Obviously, as a Muslim man, that is your obligation, and as a Muslim woman, that is your obligation. But have this conversation, because like in the West, especially over here, a lot of people are sadly brainwashed to believe that, like, you know, both should be working, both should be hustling, both should be making money. And you know what? If you don't want that as a man from a woman, then make sure you make that very clear from day one. Because I've been with a couple of other like interviews as well from myself, and you know, not to judge just sisters, but I didn't like the fact that they wanted to be more work orientated. That's not what I want. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, but ideally, even Islamically, if you look at it, it is better for the girl to be more the breadwinner at home and the guy to fulfill his obligation, provide for the house. May Allah inshallah make it easier for everybody. So that brings me to the end of this video. And the last point that I touched upon, questions and things to ask, I'll make a separate video about it inshallah, because it's very, very detailed. There's a lot of things to talk about. So inshallah, stay tuned for that video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. I'm trying to get consistent back with one, you know, long YouTube video every week. And inshallah, I'll catch you guys on the next video. If you guys stayed until the end of the video, inshallah, you guys will have a really good marriage. It's really important, if you're not married right now, to seek knowledge about marriage and how to deal and live with a partner Islamically according to the Sunnah and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has says in the Quran in terms of, you know, rights over a man, rights a woman has over a man, etc. It's really important to seek knowledge. That's why Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, seek knowledge from cradle to grave. Inshallah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.